Hi, I'm Carolyn Chilia. I am your clinical hypnotherapist, your NLP practitioner, registered kinesiologist. I do everything neuroscience, neurophysiology, and subconscious mind. So today I'm going to talk to you about the number one way to help with your energy management. So we all love to manage our energy because our energy determines our decisions that we make throughout the day. It determines interactions that we have, the relationships that we have. Everything depends on our energy. So our life depends on our energy. And our focus is what I'm going to talk to you about today. Focus maybe in a way that you haven't heard before in helping you manage your energy. So we're going to talk about focus in a few different ways, but at the end of this, you're going to understand what are the three things that you need to focus on to manage your energy in a way that works for your life and gets you the things that you want. Okay, so let's dive in. So we'll talk about focus in a few different ways, but first, let's define focus. So focus is it can be your thoughts, your time, your money. Your focus can be whatever you want it to be. So if I'm putting my energy on something, that's my focus, right? So energy almost equals focus. And where our focus goes, our energy flows. That's a great saying to keep in your mind, keep ingrained in you, because that is the key. That's the key to everything that you want. That's the key to understanding the world. That's the key to managing your energy. There are little nuances, but if you just keep that in mind as you're going through your day, your life is going to just change in ways that you couldn't even imagine. So let's talk about focus in three different ways that I've defined that are really, really important. So from when I first heard that saying, that energy goes where energy flows, where our focus goes, between when I first heard that and to what I understand and how I can work with energy now, there was a big learning curve, because my understanding of focus was not correct, and my understanding of energy was not correct, or was not in alignment with what I wanted. So our focus can be so many different things. So our focus can be your thoughts, our time, our money, can be all these different things. And our energy is basically our life force, our life purpose, our everything. So our energy is basically everything, is our being, right? So let's start with the macro focus. So our macro focus is, how do you feel about your life overall? So while you're going through a day, what are your overarching thoughts on your life? What are you thinking about your overall life as you're going through your day? How do you feel about your life, and what is your story about your life? And then what do you also believe about life? So what are the sayings, or what are the things that you think about life in general? Let's break that down. So if you have a second, let's break down what you think about life in general. Is life fun? Is life a game? Is life a challenge? Is life a test? Is life exciting? Is life mundane? Is life we get through it day by day? Is life a struggle? What is life to you, and how have you defined it? And you can see how that can change the meaning of your life and just how you define what life in general is. So take a second to think about what you actually believe life is. And if it's not exactly what you want it to be, mine was a mix. I didn't really like my definition of life, so I changed it. It wasn't bad, it wasn't good, it wasn't what I wanted it to be. So my definition of life was really interesting. It was like, life's a mystery. I'll never know what's going on. I'll never be able to predict. It's one thing after the other. Surprises out here, and yes, that can be fun, and that can add some some excitement to your life. But as your definition overall of life, let's choose something that is a little bit closer to bringing your goals or having fulfillment or purpose. So first, changing your definition of what life actually is. So I changed my definition to life is a dance. So life is a dance. So we'll go forward, we'll go back, we'll go around, we'll have some fun. We do it with other people, and we make sure to mind our partners while we have and we can do it by ourselves, we can do it with other people, whatever you want, right? And it's kind of, there are so many different flavors and ways to go about it, and you may not stay in the same dance all your life. So take your definition of life and do with it what you need to so that it is what you want it to be. So our macro focus. So that's part of our macro focus on our energy. So how do you feel about life overall? So that's our definition of actual just life, right? But let's go into our definition or our identity of our life. So what is our overarching idea of our life? What do you think about your life? What do you think about your upbringing? What do you think about your career? What do you think about your family? What do you think about what is going on in the world around you right now? What are the things macro in your life that you think? What have you put those little labels on? So your upbringing. My upbringing was boring. My upbringing was difficult. My upbringing was traumatic. My upbringing was this, was that, right? How do you view your upbringing? And what does that mean for you now? So because you think about those things, or you've labeled your upbringing in a certain way, what does that mean for you now? So if I had a very difficult upbringing where I was maybe neglected as a child, wasn't brought up in the way that I wanted to be brought up, wasn't brought up with any structure, I didn't have this, I didn't have that, I had to do this, I had to do that, and now I've transferred this over, and this is the way that I feel about myself as an adult now, right? So we all do it, so don't feel any shame in it, but just how have you labeled your upbringing, and how has that translated into your adulthood? So think about that for just a minute. What is your overarching thought about your childhood and its relation to yourself now? And then still in the macro thought, so that first part that we're talking about, still in the macro of our focus, what are your overarching thoughts daily? What are you thinking about? Are you a person who is stuck in the past? You're ruminating about things that have happened to you. You're angry about this. You're angry about the government. You're angry about your friend. You're angry about this that happened. You're angry about this place. You're angry about this thing, this person. Are you sitting in the past? Or are you extremely worried about the future? What are your overarching thoughts most days? Are you thinking, what's going to happen next? I don't know how to deal with this. This is going to happen. This is not going to happen. I'm not going to get there, or what are the overarching thoughts about your day, right? You're in your day, what are your overarching thoughts about your life? Those things that creep up. And if you take a moment, you might be able to realize where you're sitting, right? You might be able to realize that you could be sitting in the past more, or you might be sitting in the future more, and that's your macro focus. Now, this is where it gets fun. So the number one thing to do here is to, and listen closely, pull your energy away from what is not in your control. Pull your energy away from what you are not creating. So, that simplifies it to anything that you could possibly be worrying about, anything that happened in the past that you can't change, which is most things, anything that is not in your control. So we are going to pull all of our energy away from that. Once we've pulled all of our energy off of those thoughts, off of those feelings, off of those things, then we have that energy to put other places. And the other place is definitely going to be in creation. It's going to be, what can I create, and what am I actually just focusing on, what is purposeful, what is meaningful, what is good in my life, and that's where I'm going to put all that energy. And I know I just simplified it in a few sentences, and I know that it takes more than that, but the beginning steps is to pull your energy away from those things. Now, we have to be very careful in this space, dealing with ourselves in positive thinking, ignoring thoughts and feelings, spiritual bypassing. So any of these things that are not allowing us to feel, or we haven't worked through it, or it's ignoring. So that's not what I mean when I say pull my energy away from the things that are not in my control, pull my energy away from what's in the past that I can't solve. What that means is I am no longer investing my heart and my energy into things that I'm not creating. That's all that is. So it's nothing to do with not feeling feelings that I need to feel, not solving problems that I need to solve. It is all about pulling my energy away from the things that it doesn't need to be on, that are hurting me, and putting my energy into creation mode. Okay, so there's a big difference between those, and it's important to note that in your spiritual journey, in your journey of healing, and in just life, that we don't want to ignore our feelings, stuff our feelings down, or not do the work that we need to do. Okay, so next we are going to be talking about our micro focus. So when we are talking about our focus and getting our focus to be where we want it to be to create some energy or to manage our energy, we want to think about our micro focus. So where are you right now? When you're here right now, in this moment, you're watching me, you're listening to me, what are the things that you're thinking, right? So are you focused on what I'm saying about your life, being invested in the process? Are you focusing on what's going on right here, right now, in the everyday moment? And a lot of the times you can find out, maybe not necessarily right here, right now, but say if you're at your job, say if you're having a conversation with someone, maybe not being completely present in that moment. What is your micro focus like? The other part to your micro focus is how do you feel about the little things, right? So the little things that are going on and your thoughts and feelings around those little things during the day. Things that when we step back and we have a moment of clarity, those things that we might focus on, be upset with, or spend our energy on, that don't necessarily serve our higher purpose, don't necessarily do anything to create anything better in our lives. So how do you feel about those little things? What are your thoughts around the little things during the day, and what are you focusing in the minute? So are you present? Are you there with us? Are you feeling the things that you are feeling in the moment? Or are you somewhere else? Microfocus is very important because it is the only thing that we truly have. So microfocus, I would say, is the most important thing to energy management. Moment to moment, how do you feel? Moment to moment, where are you? Are you here right now with me? How are you feeling, right? That is the only thing that you have 1000% control over, and our promise is the here and the right now. And no matter what, you can work with it, you can use it, you can thrive in this moment, no matter where you are, no matter what is going on. You have a choice. And being very, very present in these exact moments is how you will achieve the goals that you want, is how you will manage your energy. How am I feeling right now? What am I thinking about right now, right? And if I'm doing that moment to moment, then I have a good life. Like, I have a good life, things come to me, there's really nothing more to it than that. So the last point that I want to talk to you after we covered our macro focus and our micro focus is being scattered. So being scattered is completely something that is going on in our world right now, maybe more so a year ago. And right now I'm filming this in 2021, so a year ago before the pandemic happened. We maybe we're a little bit more scattered, maybe we have some more time now, but scattered and busy can really be anything, because we can make ourselves busy with anything. So a scattered focus is taking on lots of projects, taking on lots of people's ideas about you. It's taking on lots of people's problems. It can be lots of things. It's just where our energy just has holes in it. Like we don't have a focus. Our focus is everywhere and everyone and everything. We're worried about this and that. We're worried about the past, the future. We're worried about our mom. We're worried about our brother. We're worried about our kids. We're worried about the world at large. It's just our energy is absolutely everywhere and anywhere. So let's start to think about how busy you are and how much time you actually have to sit and think. And how much time do you actually spend doing the inner work? How much time do you spend becoming aware of your thoughts? How much time do you spend becoming conscious? Okay, so I really love the practice of contemplation. And the practice of contemplation is a little bit different than meditation or concentration. So meditation is amazing. We take our time. That I'm not discrediting that, but I think something has to be said about contemplation. So throughout the day, how aware are you and what are you contemplating? So what are you thinking about? Are you thinking about your purpose? What are you mulling over in your mind? You can spend so much more time with an idea, with a purpose, with a thought if you're contemplating it. So that is the cure to a scattered focus, is to start contemplating what you're thinking about, what you're doing, what your purpose is. Okay? So now I'm going to give you the ultimate 3 ways to solve the focus problem. So if our energy is too macro, is too negative macro, so too negative thinking overall, my life, my childhood was bad, it's going to make my adulthood bad right now, and then in the future, then it's still going to be bad. If our micro focus is, you're just out, you're not here, you're not now, you're not whatever, you're just either past, future, you can't be right here, right now. The little things upset you. We almost can't get through the little things. That's too much. Or if you have a scattered focus, and leaky energy, where everything and everyone, you're taking it all on, or you're giving yourself away in 85,000 different ways. I'll give you the 3 ways that we can just flip this completely around. So first, we want to focus on being. What does that mean? I've heard that so many times. So what does focus on being mean? Focus on being means you focus on being the version of yourself that you want to be. Now, if that version is too far away, so who you want to be and who you are right now are just like polar opposites, hold the vision of what you want to be here, and then what is the next step? So where do I believe that I would fall, I could get to? Where do I believe that I could get to next on my way to being her? And then that is what you focus on. You focus on being that person. Now, one thing that has worked extremely well for me and is super, super easy is come into a situation, come into your day, and you think, what would she do? So right now, if I was her, what would she be doing? And if that's too far off from what you can be doing right now, or if it just doesn't make sense, if you're like, oh, well, she'd be sipping margaritas on the beach, but I work a 9 to 5 at my office, that doesn't make any sense, right? I can't do those things. Focus on what she would be doing if she was brought back into your situation. So go out to her, what she's doing, how she lives her life, and if she got pulled back and put where you are right now, what would be her actions? What would she be doing to get to where she was, right? And from that consciousness, from that stance, you can easily create the life that you want. Things come to you, you're able to create, you're able to do all the things that you want to do if you focus on being the person that you want to be. And it is not actually about pretending to be the person that you want to be. It's coming from a sense of asking what you would be doing if you were that person. So it's just a thought. It's just an awareness of where you want to be. And then the second part to getting your focus right and managing your energy is to focus on how you're feeling. So we'll go deeper into this in other videos, but the way you feel affects your electromagnetic field that is around you, that is around everyone, that is around everything. The way that you feel definitely changes and definitely alters that. And so things are either repelled away from you or attracted to you. How you feel determines if things are repelled away from you or brought to you. So if you have ever walked into a room and you felt like you cut the tension with the knife, because you're right, because you felt it, your field bumped into that field and you felt it. So understand that how you feel, no matter what you think, no matter what you say to other people, no matter the look on your face, how you truly feel is translated to those people. And that affects everything. So you focusing on how you feel, truthfully, genuinely in your heart, focusing on a feeling of love and joy and accomplishment and all the good feelings that you want to feel, so focus on genuinely feeling those and not pretending to feel them, makes the biggest difference for you in your energy management. And it determines what you, what is brought to you and what is repelled away from you. Okay. And so the last one, the third way to change your focus and keep your energy right is to focus on your faith. So faith in the sense of that this is mine. So whatever you want, or whatever you'd like to have come true within your life, the faith that that will be yours or it will come true in your lifetime. And so why this is really important is because if we are trying to have anything come into our life and work with our energy, we 100% have to believe it. So we absolutely have to 100% believe it, or it will not be brought to us if we don't believe that it could be true for us. And how this kind of works is, and most of us have it backwards, is we need to believe that that is a possibility within our world, or our physical brain and the way that it operates will not allow you to seize opportunities, take the risk that you need to take, find the person that you need to find. Your brain will actually physically stop you from doing that if you do not believe that it is possible for you. It's a way that your brain filters certain things. We can we'll get into it deep in other videos about how your brain actually works. But if you don't believe that something is possible for you, it can't come true because your brain is protecting you at all costs from it. So something to really think about is, how much do I believe that this can be true for me? And a lot of the times I found there'll be a gap. So if there's something that I'm thinking about that I'd love to have come true in my life, there's a gap between what I want and what I think is true is actually available for me right now. And so what is really, really helpful is creating steps to it. So what's the next closest thing that I could believe could be true? Okay, let's look for that. Okay, brain, listen here. This is what I believe to be true for me, and this is what I believe can happen, and this is what I believe will happen. and just taking baby steps, and then believe that builds up your faith, and that builds up your certainty in what you do want. Okay, so just to recap, our focus is important for our energy management, and energy is absolutely everything. We want to think about our energy, our focus on our energy in 3 different ways. So our macro focus, which is our overarching thoughts, our micro focus, which is our day-to-day, and our scattered or leaky energy focus. So how busy are we? How much energy are we giving away? How much focus are we giving away? And then our solution to that is 3 different things. So focus on being, focus on feeling, and focus on faith. And that is how you will manage your energy perfectly. And I want to thank you so much for listening to this video, to trying to figure out your energy, to try and have better focus in your life and control and manage your energy with me. If you have any questions, I love to talk about this, so feel free to send me a DM, to message me, and below I have linked up a free little ebook that I have that is Using Your Subconscious Mind to Let Go of Limiting Beliefs for an Unapologetic Life. So through it, I go through a technique of how to actually release some of the limiting beliefs that you have put on yourself in your subconscious mind, which will help you have better focus on your energy. Okay, you guys have a great day.